Hello, I'm Bruce Lorincz, and this show is called Bruce on the Loose. And now I go ahead and read to our young readers in Wadsworth and certainly in the surrounding areas and other states so they can go ahead and improve their skills and read and enjoy all the things that they come across and really help their parents out and get those skills down, because that really is a foundation for certainly school later in the middle school and high school, your social studies and science and math, all of them really, all those subjects depend on math. I'm still wearing my mask and I'm still social distancing in Wadsworth, and the governor says we're having problems. And I'm going to take this off now so you can hear me a little bit better. But boy, we've had a rash of records lately with a number of people getting coronavirus, so please make sure you don't go to big crowds and gatherings, and make sure you social distance and wash your hands and good hygiene and wear those masks. That's very, very important. We've not done very well last week here in Ohio, and we hope we can get better and reduce those number of cases. Well, I have 4 books to read today, and they are real good ones, and I'm really looking forward to reading these books. And the first one is on lions. And I sure like to go to the Akron and Cleveland Zoo and see lions. They are the king of beasts, and they are really interesting animals. I like to go to the zoo. I see lions at the zoo. Lions have gold coats. Male lions have thick fur around their necks. This thick fur is called a mane. And there he is. Boy, he's just glaring at the cameraman. He sure is a ferocious lion. Lions live in groups. A group of lions is called a pride. And there you see all sorts of lions of different ages. There's looks like the mother and father, and maybe there's an uncle and some other younger ones there as well in the pride. Lions from the pride hunt in groups. They hunt in the early morning, in the late afternoon, or at night. And there they are, looking for something to go ahead, another animal possibly to go ahead and attack and eat. Lions rest during the day. They curl up in the shade under a tree. And there they are. They're lounging and taking it easy during the day. Lions play in groups. They roll around on the ground. Boy, those look like really cute little cubs. They lick each other's faces. And there's Mama helping to clean one of her cubs. They lick themselves to stay clean. And I think even dogs do that as well. So they went ahead and they want to make sure they're clean. I like to see lions at the zoo. Do you? And here's some words that in the glossary, we found out during the reading. Mane, it's a long hair on an animal's neck. Pride, a group of lions. And shade, an area with less light. So that was a real interesting book on lions, and they certainly do go ahead and patrol the prairie and grasslands in Africa and many other nations. Our second book that we'd like to go ahead and read to you today is a book that you would really like, especially this time with the weather getting a little warmer this week, My Red Rowboat. And this is a real good book written by Dana Measham-Rowe and illustrated by Miriam Sigrist. We take a trip in my red rowboat. We wear life vests. Boy, that's very important to be safe. Very important to go ahead, and especially if the weather changes and the waves get really rough, and it's really important. And if anyone kind of maybe tips the boat over, it's really important to have a life jacket. In my red rowboat. And boy, I see some frogs in that picture, and there's I think a dragonfly. And I'm sure you can see some other things in this picture as well. Maybe take a look at that background too. Some trees, maybe some mountains too. Wow. We go to the market in my red rowboat. We row with oars in my red rowboat. We cross the lake in my red rowboat. Boy, there's a real bird with a real long legs. That could be a stork on the left-hand side near that wharf. Oh my. We reach the dock in my red rowboat. The dock man watches my red rowboat. We put our food in my red rowboat. We head for home in my red rowboat. It looks like Dad is doing a real good job rowing. He's really, oh, and I see a turtle there. A turtle and another one in the water. There could be two turtles there. Wow. We sing some songs in my red rowboat. I love trips with Dad in my red rowboat. And there was a lot of words we came across there, and boy, that certainly is important for your popcorn words and sight words. Boy, once you get those down, you can go ahead and continue to add to your number of words you know. And it's really important to keep reading, and really as we read, we learn things. And that father and son really did a good job. They went to the wharf, they went all the way across the lake, and they really had a good time, hopefully with weather like we're going to have in the next several days. Well, the third book, boys and girls, moms and dads, I'm going to read is about zebras. And zebras, this was Annette von Schulbusch was the author of this. And zebras are very interesting animals indeed. Zebras are members of the horse family. And there are two zebras there. Zebras have black and white stripes. Boy, there's a reflection of those three zebras in the pond. That's a real interesting picture. The stripes on every zebra are different. Zebras know each other by their stripes. Boy, I didn't know that. I didn't know they were all different. Just like we're very unique as human beings. We have various traits and abilities, and we're all very different. Every zebra has a mane and a tail. And we learned about those manes with the lions. Yeah. A zebra's mane and tail also have stripes. Zebras can hear very well. They can also see well. So those are two senses that they are going to be able to utilize to protect themselves if they hear maybe the lions or some other predator coming, and they have good vision, good sight, so they can see something that isn't quite right on the grasslands. Zebras live on the grasslands of Africa. Zebras eat mostly grass. They also need to drink a lot of water. Zebras move across the grasslands looking for food and water. Looks like they may be trotting in this one. Yeah, their legs are up in the air, and I think they're just not walking. They're trotting possibly. Zebras live in family groups. These groups sometimes come together to form a large group called a herd. A baby zebra is called a foal. Zebra foals can walk about 1 hour after they are born. Boy, that's not very long. They certainly can get acclimated very quickly to their environment, and they really do like to be with their mother. So some of the words we talked about: food with an F, and mane with an M, grasslands starts with a G, and stripes. And every zebra has different stripes with an H. And up above, there's some 4 words: foal, that's a young zebra; herd, many zebras together; grasslands, that's where they reside and live, and we know all about Maine. So really enjoyed that book about zebras, and we can find them in the zoos as well around the community. Our final book today is going to do a book that we did before, and I hope that doesn't bother anyone, but I like this book so much, and Kimberly and James Dean are the author of Pete the Cat and the New Guy. And I think Pete teaches us so many lessons. And let's see what Pete is up to today with this new one. It was Sunday, and Pete's friends had come to play. They were rocking to a new song when, beep, 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 there was a noise coming from across the street. And there's all Pete the Cat's friends. There's Owl in the tree, and the alligator, and octopus, and the toad, and of course the turtle is there too, listening, and Pete. Wise old Owl had a view from his tree. Pete said, "Hey, Owl, what do you see?" Owl said, "All I see are green shoes and a red hat." Pete answered, "Sounds like my kind of cat." So I think someone's going to be moving in. Pete could not imagine who this new guy could be. "I really hope it's a new friend for me." So there's Pete's buddies, again the owl, and there's that little bird on his guitar. On Monday, Pete wanted to say hi, but he was feeling kind of shy. So he just rode by and by and by and by. So Pete just kept going back and forth in front of this house where the new person had come in. Until finally Pete got to meet the new guy. Pete said, "I've never met anyone quite like you. You seem like a duck and like a beaver too. The new guy said to Pete, "Hi, my name is Gus. Glad to meet you. I'm a platypus." So he does have a bill, web feet, and a tail. He is a little different. Pete said, "You're not like me, and I'm not like you. But I think being different is really very cool." So Pete has met the new guy, and he likes him. On Tuesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. They came to Squirrel, who was playing in a tree. "Hi, Gus," said Squirrel. "Climbing is easy. Try and see." Gus gave the tree a try, but the branch was way too high. "I wish I could climb like you, but climbing is something I just can't do." So Gus had real trouble climbing that tree like the squirrel. Pete said, "Don't be sad. Don't be blue. There is something everyone can do." So he's trying to cheer up Gus, and he's trying to make him feel that, boy, there's going to be something that he can do and be successful at. On Wednesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. They came to Pete's friend, Grumpy Toad, who said, "Come play leapfrog with me. Jumping is easy. Try and see." Gus jumped and leaped, but he couldn't get over Toad or Pete. "I wish I could jump like you, but jumping is something I just can't do." Pete said, "Don't be sad. Don't be blue. There is something everyone can do." And there's he with the Grumpy Toad. And there's a motorcycle, I think, maybe in the background there too. On Thursday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. Soon they saw Octopus, who said, "Come, juggle with me. Juggling is easy. Try and see." "I wish I could juggle like you, but juggling is something I just can't do." It looks like Gus dropped all those balls, and he tried for a little bit, but he just wasn't successful at it, and the balls, I think, fell to the ground. Pete said, "Don't be sad, don't be blue. There is something everyone can do." On Friday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. Gus said, "I can't juggle or jump or climb a tree. It's no fun around here for me." So he's dejected. He's feeling really sad, and he has tried several things, and he hasn't been able to do it. He just doesn't have the skills or ability to do it. On Saturday, Pete hoped Gus would come out to play. "I wish Gus wasn't sad. I wish Gus wasn't blue. I wish there was something we could do." Just then, Pete heard a groovy sound. It was coming from across the street. Gus was rocking to his own beat. Sweet. Pete said, "Check out Gus the platypus. He found something cool he can do with us." And he's tapping, thump, thump, and he looks like he is a drummer. And there's tap, thump, thump, tap. He's not sad. He's not blue. Gus found something that everyone can do. And look at the band. They are going to their next concert, and they're doing it on the Gus bus. They even named the bus after him, and it is groovy. So I tell you, I sure like this. This is the second time I read this, but I really empathize sometimes with Gus. There are things that I'm not really good at doing. I remember in school that we went to art class, and I was not a real good artist at all. I struggled and had problems, and the teacher helped me, and I was at least able to get through the class. But boy, to this day, and my daughter Maureen went to Syracuse University, and she was a painting major. So in families, your brother or sister could have a gift or ability to do something, but you might not, but that's okay. You can go ahead and focus and concentrate on those things and skills that you can do. And it really, maybe you're a good reader, or again, a good illustrator, or you can maybe play softball really well. The girls are really good softball players. Or you can really be organized and kind of look at a room and kind of organize and make sure everything is safe and nice and neat. And that takes a special gift as well. We really do have some good weather coming up. And I heard the other day that those students that go out and get exercise and get outside and get some vitamin D, sun, and really go outside and do things, really do not have as much stress. They are relaxed and more focused on doing things than being always at your computer and the screens that we sometimes have to be at from time to time. So please take a look at Bruce on the Loose. I've done other shows on WCTV. You can watch WCTV on your computer and take a look. There's various other shows that I've done. We've done shows about Granite, a musher dog, and I saw that book at home the other day. And we've done Casey at the Bat and all sorts of other good books, and Pete the Cat and the Superheroes, all sorts of shows we've done in the past. And you can take a look at those and learn and increase your ability to read, and your knowledge base will grow and grow. So thanks for viewing Bruce on the Loose, and we will see you next week.